Greetings and welcome to STL Soccer Talk, the video edition, the podcast of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and STLtoday.com. I'm trying to remember where I am. It's only been 3 years. But anyway, here we are, and it's a weird situation because in some ways it's the same. City SC lost.
They lost.
They have lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
But
it's a bad number.
yes, but encouraging. Actually, a loss that, while there was a loss, and while, as Klaus said, look, we got to start winning games, but it was a game in which you could actually see things taking shape. That that if the team played like that against other opponents that were not as good as like the best team in the league,
right.
Columbus, that they could have won. They could have beaten Austin, or they could have beaten Kansas City.
And they
played like that.
They played like that through the entire game, even after falling behind.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't get all in their heads. They didn't give up on the game, and they looked really close to getting a second goal that would have tied the game.
They came really, really, really close.
Really close. An offside call that was so close, it doesn't really look like offside. But what can you say?
We'll talk about that more on the podcast.
Of course.
Yeah, and they still did things wrong. I mean, they still had chances that they didn't finish, that they should have finished, and if they finished them, Cedric Toyer had a great opportunity. Simon Betcher, there were opportunities, and they didn't. And so
right.
You got to color it, but this was the most opportunities, the best chances they had. And even though they didn't have much possession, they looked way more coherent out there.
Like they knew what they were doing.
They knew like there was a plan and they knew what they were doing.
Oh, offense, right.
Yeah. Now the defense, obviously they gave up 2 goals for the
Yeah.
first time, which is good gosh, they were giving up none for a long period of time. So now they've given up 2 in a game. So we'll see. But there's kind of good news also on the injury front.
Yeah.
That Thomas Totland and Jonas Horn both were full participants in practice on Wednesday as City kind of restarted its week. Mm-hmm. And they should be available on Saturday for the Vancouver game. It's good. And for the first time since breaking his hand, Roman Berkey put on gloves and took part briefly in practice.
All right.
And it's been established that it won't take as long. Berkey doesn't need a week of training to be able to play.
The goalie does
goal.
some running, but not 5
Not
miles.
a whole heck of a lot.
Right.
So it could be that if he gets a good practice in on, he only did maybe 20 minutes today. Mm-hmm. But if he gets in on full ones on Thursday and Friday, he can't rule out that he could play Saturday. Not that Ben Lunt has been bad.
Ben Lunt has been exceptional.
But Roman Berkey is,
even better.
The best goalie in the league.
Yes.
So you'd like to utilize him. It's going to be tough, though. They're playing Vancouver. They're playing, if Columbus was the best team in the league, Vancouver's the other best team in the league. This is a tough challenge for them.
Yes.
And this is where the first 3 games of this streak, those were the teams they should have beaten.
Yeah.
And so that you're going to play tough teams, and maybe you lose to them, but you beat the easy teams, and that's they're going to kick themselves on. They could be making definite progress and have a 5-game losing streak, but it kicked away some chances to get wins.
Definitely.
So
yeah.
We'll talk about this more on the podcast, and you'll read more about this in the print edition of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and online.
Yep.
And I'll see you in those places along with Beth in the podcast studio. Until next time, be seeing you.